Welcome to Couch Pilots. All of you are my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, but you can call me the Black Beretta. And with me, as always, is my 9mm man. It's Captain Philip Rastasier.
9mm. I've only shot a gun once in my life. It was not a 9mm, but when somebody says you're a 9mm, I think I'm black, cool, and hard.
I don't disagree with any of that.
No.
The first and only time you shot a gun was right before you turned 40.
Yeah, it was my 40th birthday present from Big E.
Mm-hmm. He took you out shooting. You said, I want to be a man, right?
Well, no, I wanted to experience something I've never experienced before.
That could have been a myriad of
it's
things.
It's not like I'm like all my friends I hang out with all have guns. You know what I mean? So I never got into guns.
Gotcha.
I'll put my hands up if you got me.
Gotcha. Put your hands up. Gotcha.
I want to go again. I want to go again. I don't know if he sold all his guns or what. I don't know. Since Trump came into, I don't know if he.
I never hear about him talking about guns either. And you said something you had never experienced before.
I want to shoot a rifle.
What's something else you haven't experienced that you would like to experience? Be honest. Honest. Be honest.
I can't talk about it here.
I know what that means. That's fair. That's fair. So, I guess we can just get right into it, right? Let's just get right into it. Let's stop pussyfooting around, right?
God, Jason.
What?
Say pussyfooting around.
What's that?
I'm sorry. I won't talk about the stuff I want to talk about.
You're talking directly to our guest.
And then he starts saying the P word.
There's nothing wrong with that. When you're talking about footing or felines, you can say that word.
Footing?
Yeah, pussyfooting around.
Oh, it's like you're like talking about like in the podcast. You don't want to be pussyfooting around in the podcast. Now I've said it.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Why do you turn into a woman every time we have this particular guest on our show?
Because I am a respectful goddamn young man.
No, you're proving it.
And then I said the worst possible thing I could say.
Proving it. Okay, so we're.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't. You don't have to apologize.
All right. You want me to be wild and crazy like I always am? Do you want me to be wild and crazy? Yes or no?
Just because.
Do you want me to be wild and crazy like I always am?
I just want you to be Blake.
Fuck the Lakers. Let's do this show. LeBron James is a douche manouche.
No, he's not. He's a human being who's scandal free since 2003.
All right.
I don't know.
Birthing room. That's all you gotta say is birthing room.
I guess that's almost his legacy now. Yeah. One of the most frequent guests we've had, actually.
I think he
was on just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's going to be on in a few weeks again because he won the Couch Pilots podcast essay.
He was on an episode recently where he wasn't even here, where he talked for 45 minutes.
It was a very long time. Let's talk to him about that. Welcome back, as Matt.
Glad to be here.
Hey,
what's going on?
Hey, Matt.
I had a lot to say. It was an essay.
Sunglasses. You stared me down when you put those sunglasses on.
I hung up the phone when we called you, and it was like 15 minutes. I remember calling you on the way here. It's like, hey, I'm going to call you about your essay. And you're like, oh, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. I was like, it's fine. Just like 2 sentences. And then you went on for 15 minutes worth of sentences.
A 2,000-word essay.
It was good.
Thank you.
Really good.
Thank you.
Was that off the cuff? No, it really happened.
No, it was his essay. Of course, it's not off the cuff.
I'm just seeing if he's paying attention.
What's that pen you have from last week?
And Matt, I'm sorry again. My wife went to a party, one of those toy parties, and which also could be called a pyramid scheme, because she went to this party, purchased some things, and then
what'd she purchase?
We don't need to talk about that. But she purchased some things, and then,
I bet it was a butt plug that's a tail,
and a raccoon tail, not a skunk tail. And there's one thing that's coming out in November that she's going to get, but so she's like,
Google that.
She's not released yet.
She's like, I had a really good time.
Sure.
And then she's like, hey, 2 days later, she's like, guess what? She goes, because Friday night, she's like, I think I could throw this party. So I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
I would be good. I would be a good hostess to throw this party.
Sure.
And I said, okay, you can have a party. That's fine. And she goes, well, but I'm thinking about selling it. And I said, okay. She goes, right now, the starter package that's regularly $400 is on sale for $198.
Oh, what a great deal.
And I said, Molly, this is a pyramid scheme. This is what happens, okay? You won't make any money unless you make, other people underneath you. I said, she goes, I know what a pyramid scheme is, asshole. And
That's what everyone who gets involved with a pyramid scheme says.
Right.
I know what a pyramid scheme is.
right. I was like, when I was a kid, my mom had Mary Kay parties. She had home interior parties. This is
Tupperware
parties. Yeah.
Right.
That's what this is. And she's like, and here's her reasoning is, she goes, worst case scenario, I get $400 worth of toys for $190. That's her ration. Like, that's how she rations in her brain. She's like, yeah, I'll join a pyramid scheme, but I'll get all this stuff for half the price.
Well, so what is the phone? What is the what's the pin say there?
All right, but here's the deal.
Yeah.
There cannot be any mention of. We have to do it a certain way where I don't want her to be embarrassed.
That's fine. Just what's it say?
It says Pure Romance by Brittany Johnson.
Okay.
563-340-7324. Now, can you possibly say that you're inquiring about maybe being a party... Jesus Christ. Party host?
Hold on a second. Turn up. There you go. You can hear it. You can hear it just fine.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. The wireless customer you called is not available.
563. Is that right?
563-340-7324.
Oh, I said 7304.
Oh, great. 7324.
Oh, what did it say it
Even
again?
better.
Say it again real quick.
It's 563
Okay.
340-7324. Don't say my real name.
It's Brittany.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask. I'll tell her I found a pen. Hello.
Hello,
Hi, is it Brittany?
this is.
Hey, Brittany. My name is Jason. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, my wife. I was recently at one of your parties and got a pen, and had a couple questions for you, if you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. I don't do a lot of this kind of stuff. Because it's adult themed party you do, right?
Yeah, I sell adult products. Yes.
Okay. So if my wife wanted to get involved, what does she need to do? Because she was nervous to make this phone call.
You mean, does she want to do what I do, or she wants to host a party?
Was there a difference between hosting the party and doing what you do?
Yes. So when you host a party, basically what that is you have all of your friends, family, coworkers, all that kind of stuff, all of your people that you want to come over. You have some snacks and drinks. I come and I do my little presentation, and you earn free product based on what your friends come and buy.
Okay.
So what I do is I'm the consultant, so I actually work for Pure Romance. So I rely on hostesses for my business, basically.
Okay, I think that's what she was interested in is hosting like a party, because she thought, I had a lot of fun there. I didn't know a lot of people, but if I got a lot of my friends together, I could host this and it'd be a lot of fun.
Perfect. Absolutely.
Okay. So let me ask you this: when she went, it was all girls. Is that usually all girls, or do guys get involved ever, or is it kind of taboo to mix the genders?
Well, we used to allow men at our parties with our last company as passion parties, but the last 3 years we haven't allowed men. It's just kind of like there's a scary statistic that 1 in 3 women has been sexually assaulted in her life, and we just aim to have like an all women safe learning environment for them. So,
well,
yeah.
is there a male version of it then, like where a guy could have? Because I like I said, I am very ignorant when it comes to adult toys and what have you. I don't know much about that. I don't jump into that, but my mind is open to it. So I didn't know if there's like a version where a guy could have one of these parties.
No, that's great that you're open to that too. Not that I know of at the moment.
Okay.
But I will let you know, if your wife joins my VIP group, I'll actually be going live with my party demo, what I actually do when I go into other people's houses. And men can always tune in on my VIP group and they can watch me live. I just can't do it like with them in the house.
Sure,
So if you
physically they
wanted
can't
to-
be there, but you can watch it live or check it out at a later date.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, she was embarrassed to make this call because we don't really venture into that kind of stuff. But, you're married for a while and you want to spice things up a little bit. You start to think what else is out there. What can you do? And I think this is a great opportunity to do that.
Oh, most definitely. That's what we aim to do is help enhance relationships. We keep single women safe, married women married, and every woman happy. So.
Okay, very cool. So what would she need to do to get started? And I'm going to relay some of this info to her if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. She would just need to pick a date. I normally do parties on Wednesday evenings, Sunday afternoons, and the occasional Friday evening. I don't have much availability left for the end of the year except maybe, I believe I have 2 Wednesday evenings left and maybe a Saturday afternoon, I think.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm scheduling into January at the moment.
Wow, it's really booming, huh?
Yes, I've been doing this almost 6 years. February will be my 6 years in business. This is all I do. It's my full-time. I do about 3 or 4 parties a week.
That's aw- that it says a lot too because one of my wife's friends was like, you know what, be careful. It kind of sounds like a pyramid scheme to me. And I was like, I don't know. I think people are into this stuff. And if people start throwing around the word, like when people start saying the word crazy about someone, it kind of sticks. And people say pyramid scheme, and it's kind of a thing that's like it gets people kind of scared. But I don't think it is a pyramid scheme.
Absolutely. I mean, pyramid schemes by definition are the person at the top makes more than the person at the bottom, and you make money
Right.
based on other people joining.
Yeah.
The only way you make money in this business is by selling a product. So it can't technically be a pyramid scheme, but the way that it's structured with like our bonus checks and stuff,
Yeah.
some people still think that it is because I do have a team and I do earn money off of my team, but that doesn't take anything out of their pocket, and they could always earn more money at any point in time more than I do.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds totally legit to me. Is there a good website or somewhere that my wife can check this out so I can kind of tell her what you and I have talked about and see if she wants to, jump in any further?
Yeah, absolutely. No problem. My website is
Passion.
Brittany.
Okay, can you spell Brittany? There's a lot of different ways to
I
spell
think
it.
it should be on my pen, actually.
Oh, hold on a second. Yes, it is. I'm sorry.
Nope, that's okay. I was just trying to remember. I ordered them so long ago, and I have like 5,000, so I
Nope,
forget what they even look like anymore.
You're totally right. Okay, so just go there and have all the information.
Yep, there's all the information on the product, stuff like that. If you're wanting to tune into that live party tomorrow, if she wants to shoot me a request, the link is on my public Facebook page, and you can find me just by Brittany Johnson, and it says, I do pure romance and everything all over my Facebook page. There's a little over 1,000 people in my VIP group, so
Awesome.
no need to feel, awkward or anything about requesting, because I'm having my big annual sale on Thursday, so I've had about 20 requests from people a day to get in on that sale for Thursday. So
Very cool. Once I talk to her and tell her that we spoke, and she digs in the website, I'm sure she'll be totally cool with setting something up. But she was just a little nervous, I think, to make that initial call. So I really appreciate your time.
yeah, absolutely, and that's totally understandable. I mean, the phone is really scary nowadays to people. I don't know why people don't want to get on
You're
the
right.
phone.
Like
They don't-
most people want to
yeah.
like Snapchat or Facebook or text or something.
Text,
But you're right.
yeah.
Making a phone call is oddly like scary for people, right?
It is, and that's it's so weird in my business because obviously I'm in a relationship business. I work in sales. I'm face to face with people. That's what I do. That's how I make money. So I don't have a fear of the phone, but everybody else, I try to call them and they text right back. Hey, you called? I'm like, yeah. Why didn't you want
Yeah,
to
just
answer?
pick up the
But
phone and
that's
talk to
okay.
me. We're two people. Come on.
Yeah, it's whatever.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know it's late in the evening. I apologize for that. But
No
thank you so
problem.
much. And I'm going to talk to her, and hopefully we'll be reaching out to you real soon, Brittany.
Perfect. Sounds good.
All right. Again, my name is Jason, and thank you very much, and take care.
Great, Jason. Thanks. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
You're good at what you do.
So-
I'll give you that. You're good at what you do.
So there's that.
You're good at what you do.
I don't have a wife.
Nailed it.
But you can buy dildos there, apparently.
Yeah. Lots of products in regards to like liquids of all kinds of liquids.
I haven't looked into it at all, but
There's a lot of sticky icky going on. There's a lot of lubes.
It's a pyramid scheme for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. She's like, I do make money off the people underneath me, but they still make money.
Ma'am, You are defining a pyramid scheme to me right now. No, that's fine. I'm sure it's a legitimate business, and whatever. Is dildo a bad word? It's not a bad
I don't
word,
think
right?
it's a bad word.
Matt, would you? I know you don't say swear words. Would you say the word dildo or not? You don't even have to say it now. You can just say yes or no.
I'm pretty sure I've used it.
Okay.
I mean, it's a noun.
It's a false
descriptor.
phallus. Oddly enough,
I
my
feel more
nickname in high
comfortable
school.
saying false.
Yeah. They
If
call.
you're okay with that, I'd rather say that.
You'd rather say false phallus.
It's a mouthful.
truth or false phallus. So I don't know.
So that has a lot to do with planes, trains, and automobiles. Matt, it's glad to have you back.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here.
Yeah.
Great to be here, guys.
And
Thank
again,
you.
I apologize as I do every time you're on. I
told you
apologize
that-
for my co-host. It's not reflective of me.
It kind
how
of is. I mean,
I've never asked him to apologize, just for the record.
You want to try that? That's a dank meme from Triptych Beer. It's
See
really
this
good.
dank memes.
You can't get it overseas, folks. Sorry, Dee Dee.
Yep. I think Dee Dee's probably quit listening to me. She's probably
she
mad at
really?
me. I think so.
Was she mad at you for what?
The Stan Lee stuff, I think probably.
Did you go on a rant online about it?
Oh, no, not at all. I would never do that.
All right, whatever.
Stan Lee?
Stan Lee.
He's dead. Come on. We know you're a
Yeah.
fucking comic book nerd.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but what's she all been about that?
Well, no, because I talked about, and unfortunately, it was Stan Lee that just blew me out of the, it was the icing on the cake.
Just take something to set him off. It was
just
Stan Lee. It was the very elderly and very rich Stan Lee.
Sounds
that
like
set him
some,
off.
sounds like some misdirected anger to
Yeah.
me.
No, I'm so tired of people being like astonished when people die that are either old or like big drug heads.
Listen, can I tell you what it is? Like, seriously, let me break it down for you, if you don't mind. This is my thoughts and opinion on the situation. Like, some people live their lives online, and whatever comes up in their feed, whether it's someone maybe being insensitive or someone dying, they're just looking for a reason to get riled up and to have attention put on them.
Yeah, I guess
But the
so.
truth is, no one gets mad about anything. No one gives a shit.
Right.
All right? No one cares about Stan Lee dying. He was an old man. He lived a good life. He was scandal free. Everyone loved Stan Lee. He lived to 95.
wasn't
He was
scandal-free.
accomplished. He was an
wasn't-
accomplished man.
He wasn't. Oh Jesus! Here we go again.
I honestly don't know this. What was his scandal?
Well, there was a scandal in regards to like that like elderly abuse or something. But he was being shitty to the person that was taking care of him, or the person taking care of him was being shitty to them.
I'm just saying, no one online who stirs up dust really gives a shit. It's
I
just
know,
it's just
but
a moment for
it
someone
just-
to say, "Hey, look at me,
It
real
just-
quick."
Yeah, it is, and it just drives me crazy that like people die, and maybe this is maybe this is a thing that I'm going through in my life right now.
Sure.
My wife has told me that I'm pretty much I'm insensitive about a lot of things. Like
Yeah,
that
sure.
I don't show emotion like when something in particular happens. Like today it snowed and it's kind of slick outside. But I'm cool, calm, and collective. And she's like, "Why are you being like that? The snow is awful. Everybody's gonna get in wrecks." And I'm like,
Rex and effects.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I didn't care anymore. I don't care.
But you care more about the Stan Lee thing. It's weird what ruffles your feathers.
But it ruffles
My ridges? Say it.
ruffles my ridges. Now I think that I'm. You're right. Okay, here's the thing. Then explain to me, and Matt, you're here, and I
Have Matt explain it.
Yes, I respect his opinion.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing: how can I have no emotion whatsoever about Stan Lee, Kurt Cobain, fucking?
Kurt Cobain.
Well, I'm just talking about anybody that dies.
Okay.
Right?
Don't put this on
Pol
me, Jay.
Pot.
Don't put this on me.
Answer him about
can't-
Pol Pot.
No, what's the
I'd rather go Kurt Cobain.
What's the other
Chris
guy?
Cornell.
Yeah,
I'd
okay.
rather go Chris Cornell.
Okay, so I didn't get upset when Chris Cornell died. I really don't get upset.
You see that, how I made
Yeah.
that Chris Cornell jump with you?
Yeah, but like it bugs the shit out of me that my recorder was flashing a red light for an hour and a half, and it bugged the fuck out of me.
Well, you have a personal relationship with that recorder and the light. Stanley.
My light.
My light.
No.
All right. Well, I can't. Like right now, it's bugging me that you're looking at me, which I appreciate, but yet you're nowhere near that microphone.
That's bugging him.
do you
If
want me to
if
do
you
this?
would put it back where I told you to and sit the way I told you to.
Really easing into it. just melting into that wooden chair.
Okay,
I'm not trying to overdo it.
let's break it down. Why do little things that are stupid?
Well, little things kill,
that
right?
actually bother
if,
me.
If Bush,
but big
the
things,
band Bush has taught us nothing. It's that little things kill.
I don't know
Do you
what
guys
you're
have a
talking
segue? Could we?
I think we could
Do you
play
have
that
a little thing
song,
segue?
probably. Yeah. We have.
about. Are you going to explain this to me? Or are we just
Explain-
segueing it just to segue?
explain
Matt needs to explain it to him.
You explain it to me. Explain to me why little things bother me, but big important things don't.
Oh, I thought we were doing it.
I
thought we were already
in
doing
the
it.
key of C. Please.
You know what I heard recently about Kurt Cobain? That he could scream in key.
Now,
Is that true?
did you watch the Netflix special?
90s.
Yep.
Yes.
I watched it
About
too.
5 episodes in.
What do you mean?
Well, Blake,
screaming
why do
key?
you think the little things bug you the most?
Reach the sky every night. Know that I'm wrong.
Fucking Bush nerds.
from right.
Spinning around.
All right. Turn that shit off. Let's get down to brass taxes. All right. Nobody wants to hear a Bush song.
Sure we do.
No, there's like 7 people in the world that want to listen to a Bush song.
Matt
Count
and I-
me in.
Matt and I saw Bush back in April. It was great. Matt got to touch Gavin Rosdale.
I touched a sweaty Gavin Rosdale.
He touched him. I pushed. I had the opportunity. I put Matt in front of me and I pushed him towards him because I knew it was his lifelong dream.
Wow.
Tell me that's not.
Who else would do that for him?
Who else would do that?
His own child couldn't do that because he doesn't have the physical strength to do so.
Otherwise, he would have.
Otherwise, he would.
Yeah. I would have brought my child if I could have got closer to Gavin Rosdale.
And your wife was pregnant at that point.
I
Right?
did bring my child to get
Here he
closer.
goes. Why did they kill you, Blake?
This podcast is
Oh my gosh.
is ending very soon.
I'm on cloud 9 right now.
All right, whatever. All right.
How close are
Fuck
we to
me,
reviewing?
right? Fuck me, right?
Oh, because it doesn't go exactly the way you want to. Fuck you. Yeah.
No, it's you guys. You're. I have a serious topic to talk about.
I can't read my notes. I'm so slouched back here.
You're almost in a recliner like Ted Bundy. Not
Like-
Ted, no, Al.
I think
like Ted Bundy?
like Ted Bundy, the very attractive 1970s serial killer.
killer.
He escaped from jail twice. Did you know that?
I did not
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, he escaped from jail twice. How the fuck does that happen? Hey,
I remember.
Hey,
I remember
Matt,
they electrocuted
hold
him,
on,
right?
Matt.
Yeah.
Watch the 70s.
Is that a thing?
No, it's the.
Is it done by the same
80s?
guys?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The 90s is awesome.
Well, go to the 70s and watch that. That's some messed up stuff.
Is it? It's pretty good.
Yeah. So, but okay, let's just get it out there. Why do little things bother you? You guys keep asking me why do they? I'm asking you why.
Okay, what's the little thing that bothers you?
Huh?
What's the little thing that bothers you? Stan Lee dying, right?
No, it doesn't bother me.
No, well, I mean the fact that people respond the way they do
All right,
to it.
Here's something that bothers me. Okay. Okay, this really did bother me, and I'm not making a joke. This is
Please,
canon. This is canon.
We'll take it in and we're gonna process it and we're
This
gonna
is
come
canon.
up with some ideas
All right,
for you.
I have 15 soup spoons, right? The other day, my brother said, "Oh, I wish I had some soup spoons," and my wife grabbed 6 of them out of him and handed it to him, and he took them home. That bothers me.
what is a soup spoon?
Where they're round. They're a lot rounder than
Like half of a golf ball.
like a whole golf ball.
And
That bugs the fuck out of me. Those
hold
are my
on.
soup
How does the
spoons.
handle come? Does it come straight up like you're ladling soup?
No, it's just like a regular spoon, but it's just it's a wider base.
Okay. And Molly
And that-
took 6 of them and gave them to your dumb brother Chad.
Right. And that bothered me, but I don't care
But why
about
doesn't Chad
Stanley.
just go buy some of his own?
Except and I didn't even buy them. I've stole them. I've been spending.
I'm telling you, these
I've spent years
Stealing.
stealing all these.
these soup spoons again were under your control. So was that red light.
Remember,
Stan Lee.
you remember when Aaron stole all those glasses for you?
Oh, it was the greatest day. I was in cahoots with this lady. It was
She's
great.
a thief.
I was like, ah.
She's a known thief. To me, I would just
You
go,
know me. You know
no,
me.
No, you're right. I would go to my wife, and be like, Molly, why'd you give him these spoons? I wouldn't let it bother me. Be like, why would you do that?
Because I said that. I said, why did you give him those?
What'd you say?
Because you don't fucking need that many.
I mean, you probably don't, right? But at the same time, Why just? I don't know. I think it's a little enough thing not to get your feathers ruffled about Ruffles Beverages. But at the same time, like she shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. I'm fine now. I just
okay.
wanted to hear somebody say she shouldn't have done it.
I'm honestly, Matt. I'm not interested in getting him into a place where he's fine, or like.
I thought that's what he was asking.
I just want to move on.
Don't we all?
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
I have a note here that says "call someone idiot," but we kind of already did that, so
Yeah,
I'm not
we did
going
that.
to make another phone call. Today we discussed the pilot episode of The City from the year of our Lord 1900 plus 77. Great year.
Great year. I was 2 years old. Matt, how old were you in 1977?
77?
Yes.
-5.
All right.
How about that?
Nice. And you were
Negative.
negative 4? Okay. All right. And so if anybody listened to the last episode, at the end of it, Jason was about to wet our whistles by reading the summary. And to kind of tease it for folks to listen to. And I stopped him, and I said, no, that's not going to happen. We're not doing that.
No.
Because this makes me very mad. The title of the show is The City, right? And I'm thinking, all right, New York cops, L.A. cops, something like that, big city cops, something.
Something to do with a notable city.
And the story is based around the actual city.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think a show would look like that would be called The City?
Well,
you're telling me,
yeah.
You tell me you've seen the show The City.
Right.
You don't think that name matches with the show.
Right.
What's the show that you would like to
all
see?
right. So for me, like if somebody said, "Hey, I've got a title, but I don't have a show. Come up with a show." All right. There's 4 women, right? They're living in New York. All right, and they all have a little bit different personalities. Like there's a Matt, there's a Jason.
Talking about Golden Girls?
No.
That was in Florida. Thank you very much.
Sex in this?
That's great.
Am I there?
Sex in the City. No.
Because inevitably, these 4 women that you're describing are surely to have sex at some point.
And then on the final episode of the final season, they have sex with each other all at once. No. But
My
when I think of the
goodness.
city, I'm thinking of like the Shield, kind of like the
Sure.
There's a badass cop who's running this.
Michael Chicklets.
Yeah, I love chiclets.
Boy, they got Mexicans rubbing on up to you.
I'm thinking of
rubbing those
I'm
chiclets.
thinking about there's a hardcore
Parkour.
precinct chair or what do you call it?
SWAT team.
Well, who's in charge
Hit
of a
squad.
precinct?
The chief, the
chief.
commissioner.
Yeah, the chief. The commissioner. The commissioner.
The commish, also Michael Chicklets.
Also played by Michael Chicklets.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking about what I saw, and the summary goes as followed.
That's actually not until the takeoff section.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, it did feel like you were jumping ahead, but
He
I
was a little
want to
bit.
make sure.
He does that show.
It feels
man.
like we're,
He's
yeah.
like, that's not that segment, Blake.
No, hold on. But that was my exact thought. Like, I did not feel like the name matched up. I'm
Not
gonna
at
hold.
all.
I'll hold my peace till we get to a
All right.
little
Well,
bit of turbulence.
I won't.
Oh boy.
1977. You were 2. Bartholomew and I both were. Now, Bartholomew is not really like the extended name of Matthew or Matt, right? That's something that Dave Humke came
More
up
Mateo.
with. Mateo.
Oh, Mateo. I like that. Rock me on Mateo.
Mateo.
Rock me on Mateo.
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 How we doing on time,
Me on
guys?
Mateo. Don't ask. That's not for you to worry about. 1977. I wasn't there. Bartholomew wasn't there. Blake was barely there. But to fully understand the city, we have to go back to 1977 in our minds.
Yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, we're rating. It's 2018. All right, the greatest year in
Recorded history.
in the United States history, and we're going back so far.
Yeah.
People don't grasp that. When
Almost
we watch,
100 years.
Right. People don't grasp that. When we watch these shows, we have to go back there in our minds because, and I'll tell you what, in 1977, first thing, foremost,
Yeah.
there was no such thing as Band-Aids.
It's so weird.
God, I
we
mean-
take things for granted like that. There's so much stuff that we like. I can just reach into my cabinet and grab this.
Right. A Band-Aid.
And yeah, Band-Aid's a great example.
They used to call it this, but then they changed the name to Band-Aid.
And I'm sure there are other things that we didn't have back then that I'm not even really thinking about.
The internet.
Great example. It's a series of tubes.
Right. Metamucil.
It's not a truck.
Yeah.
It's not a truck at all.
I'm not a trucker.
Wow. We went from a senator to an impeached president.
I'm not a trucker.
I'm not a truck.
And we didn't have solar power.
That's a series of tubes.
Technically, solar power is a
That's immune to distance.
Immune to distance.
solar powered is a series of tubes. So I got you on that. That was a good joke. We didn't have these things.
It's immune to distance.
Says that. Senator Stevens actually said that. He was the chairman of the Internet Committee, and he said it's
Internet committee.
He dies in a plane crash. Rest in peace.
Did he really?
Yes, he does. Yeah, he does.
Why do you know that?
Were you
It's
upset
fascinating.
Were you upset about it?
I voted for him. I
You
really
put
liked
him into office
I agreed with his take
on the
on
internet.
the internet.
Now there's a guy who can stand by it. Oops, he's dead in a plane crash. Well, at least he agreed the internet wasn't a truck. And off comes the hoodie and almost everything. Oh, merciful heavens!
Disrobing.
Oh my gosh!
Boy, we have been everywhere. Very short amount of time.
1977, December 4th, Jean Bedel Bokassa crowns himself Emperor of the Central African Empire in a lavish ceremony costing $20 million, 1/3 of the nation's budget.
You do you, man.
Christmas. That's like the parade that Trump wanted to have. The military parade that Trump wanted to have.
When he got elected?
No, just like about
Yeah,
6
he
months
did.
ago, he
Yeah.
said he wanted to show the power of the military of the United States, and he wanted to have a big parade.
He also held a big ceremony when the Warriors didn't come, right? The Warriors didn't come to visit the White House.
Yeah, they said-
and he held some almost like military gala or something
Right.
like that out from the White
Gala,
House.
not Gaylord.
Gaylord.
Not my middle name.
It was at
Gala.
He held it at the Gaylord.
The Gala at the Gaylord.
And we all said, "Hey!"
Hey, Gaylord.
I think we nailed it.
It's funny because, if you look at the budget of the United States, no one spends even close to the amount that we do on our military. I don't know why we need to, put on any kind of pomp and or circumstance to parade it around. The sheer numbers of what we do with our military should
Right.
speak everything for us, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it's more like we double most of the first world countries combined with our defense
Oh,
spending.
absolutely.
And
It's
we're
crazy.
and we
Yeah.
should.
Yeah, everyone. Wait, when you're on top of the mountain, right?
Right.
Yeah, we're like fifth place.
Hey, if you're not fifth,
You're last.
you're last.
Ricky Bobby, words I'll live by.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
That is the best. December 12th, Saturday Night Fever, a film starring John Travolta, closeted homosexual, premieres in New York City.
I think I've seen parts of that movie. I think probably from BG videos, but yeah, good movie, right? It was set in the city.
I think it really captures a certain feel of that era.
Yeah, like Studio 54 kind of disco
Yes,
era. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean they hit it right on the head when they found the sweet spot when they made this. Big collars, disco dancing, and the Bee Gees. I mean, how can you not make a successful movie with the Bee Gees doing the whole soundtrack? Why were two of those brothers ugly and one wasn't?
What was their name? What was their name?
Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike.
What's their last name? The
Cool it down.
Bee
New
Gees.
edition. New edition. I don't know. I was two. How was I supposed to know?
That's true. Yeah, Saturday Night Fever. John Travolta's a gay guy, right?
I'm sure
John
he is.
Travolta?
Yeah,
don't
no,
think so.
I think he is. He's closeted, but worse than being gay, he's a Scientologist. Am I right?
I don't know if that's worse.
Oh, that's worse.
Who are you pointing at right now?
I'm just saying, Scientology, right?
No comment.
Okay.
Honestly, there's a lot of popular religions. Scientology is not crazier than most of
If
them.
maybe what you're thinking of,
You have
and
to
this
hold.
is,
You have to hold a probe to see if you're lying or not.
You want to really dig into that shit, we can.
Scientology
I don't think we-
started as a sex thing.
It's a sci-fi novelist created it, right?
Right.
It's not any more crazy than most religions, most popular religions, if you ask me.
Okay.
This is how you're supposed to give CPR.
Remember Michael Scott starts at the beginning of the song?
Yeah.
It's like the slowest
No,
part.
get into it, man. Get past the social, as they would say in karaoke, Big E. Yeah, no, he's definitely a closeted homosexual.
Yeah. But he's a weirdo.
I didn't know that was out there.
Have you never heard that before about him?
No. All I remember
nothing
is
wrong with
well,
it.
you mentioned Scientology, and I remember that coming up because his son passed,
Jet.
and he wasn't medicated because of their faith.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Kind of like the Jehovah's Witnesses, right? They don't believe in any kind of medical stuff.
Oh, because he wasn't medicated, and so he didn't have depth perception. So when he fell off the balcony,
That's right.
like Eric Clapton's son did.
Yep, exact same thing.
Take care of your kids, people. Well, you know what? My message of positivity. Remind me. Just say, don't let your kids fall off balconies.
I'll mention that at the end of the show for
People
sure.
are all upset about that.
December 17th, Elvis Costello and the Attractions, their first U.S. TV appearance on Saturday Night Live.
Can I tell a story?
I wish you would, Ross.
Can I tell a story?
Can I finish?
All right, so
Can I finish?
we were watching the 70s documentary series.
See, I haven't seen that
the
one.
other
Only
night.
90s.
This is
And-
on Netflix?
Yeah, and so
Is this by CNN?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they show Elvis Costello on the bottom of the screen. It says Elvis Costello. It's me and my brother and Eli. He's had 4 Mountain Dews and we've had some beers, right? And
Was he telling good jokes?
it was great. He goes like this. Eli goes, Elvis, that's that guy who died from shitting all his organs out.
Good grief.
Well-informed child using profanity.
And I said, no, and that's Elvis Presley, and he died on the shitter.
Does he curse like that? It
No, he said poop.
Okay.
But, for the whole effect of the thing. But
was a great effect.
yeah, but it's so funny. He goes, I go, who told you that? He goes, people tell me stuff. And
People
I'm like,
tell me stuff.
well, don't listen to
I
them
heard
because
this.
that was Elvis Costello, and second of all, he didn't poop his organs out. It was great.
I
It
got a
was-
question.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
go ahead.
The 70s.
1970s.
The 1970s. Is Tom Hanks producing that one as well?
Yeah, he produces.
He produces all of them?
Yeah,
All
they're
right.
all the same.
All right.
Matt, Elvis Costello
Just don't watch
and the Attractions?
Any attraction to him?
Yeah, do you have any attraction?
Do you find Elvis Costello attractive?
Yeah.
I prefer not to comment.
That's fair. He's a Scientologist. I just saw Elvis Costello in September at Riot Fest in Douglas Park in Chicago.
How was it?
Not great.
Yeah.
I saw him about 10 years before that. Not bad. He was by himself, and he was doing pretty well. But here he was hot and sweaty, and he just looked
Old and
puffy.
okay. So when he dies here in 2 years, everybody can be like, "Oh my god, he changed music forever." No, he didn't.
One of those little things that'll bother you. And with that, we are safely and securely back in 1977, and I feel like I'm back there right now.
I am.
Anyang?
Matt, why did we choose to watch The City?
Well, I feel like I get to do this one almost every time,
Yeah.
don't I?
And
It's a guest thing.
there's-
Is it not a
it's
guest thing?
guest
Yeah.
thing.
This has nothing to do with you.
It's got nothing
Fair
to
enough.
do with you. Why?
It's not about you. Well, partly it's because it was free of charge.
Thank you.
Right? It had not had more than one episode. And it was available online.
Very good.
How about it?
1, 2, 3. Boom, 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 boom.
Good job.
So where can you find the entire episode of The City? We can do so by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice. And then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes. This sentence is too long.
He made it.
Sentence is too long.
No, he didn't make it. He's fucking it up again. He just put a period there. Everything's fine.
Sentence is too
Here's
long.
the thing. Last week I said,
Oh,
he's
God, the sentence is long!
he's like, do it yourself. And I'm like, how? Send me. He goes, I'll send you the file. You do it yourself. I said, if I send you the file and I put a period there and I send it back to you, you would save as. So every time you open it, it'll be that one. And look now. Look.
We're losing him.
It's fine.
Or-
That's usually your job.
Go to YouTube, Matt.
And you'll know what to do, tubes.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Boy, we are just hobbling along here.
Listen to the hum of
We're at
that.
a straight limp right now.
Listen to that engine though. That engine
It's purring, baby.
purring, baby.
Did we wave to DSJ?
No, we're mad at him. We're not waving at him. We're
Right.
mad at him.
I waved. Is that Did I
You
send a mixed
can.
signal? I know I
You
did.
can't because we can't make you be mad at it.
As long as
was like
Blake and I don't wave at him, the message is sent.
He looked confused because I did and you guys didn't.
That's how he always looks.
Well, it's because you're left-handed.
Somewhere the pilot. Matt and Scott are two detectives trying to catch a crazy guy who has a beef with a country singer. Banks's problem with country singer Wes Collins is that Wes punched him in the face when he was a baby.
I'm sorry.
Banks is now intent on killing Wes. Only Matt and Scott can stop him. Rate it.
This is, you know what?
Rate it.
Here, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
First of all,
That's the summary.
why did they give it away?
I know.
Why did they give it away? Save that nugget because I didn't read the summary beforehand, and when I saw when I heard and figured it out, blew my fucking mind. But they shot their load on this summary.
The reveal of this 75-minute pilot is that a baby gets punched in the
At
face.
6 months old, and the guy goes to jail.
In his adult life, though, he's hunting down his dad in his adult life.
And seemingly forgiven. like the detective, we'll get into it, but the detectives are like, I don't know why he did that. I don't care for it, but okay, we'll still protect you here.
Hey, but everybody's different.
You kind of feel like you bounce to get your upcomings, right?
Right.
But they're like, okay, we'll go whatever.
Yeah, because like if it was me, I was like, that baby's taller now. Now fight him.
You want to fight that tall baby?
Yeah, fight that tall baby.
Look at that tall baby.
Interesting facts.
Interesting Facts is a segment of the show where Jason's going to find things that you may not know about this pilot. Just don't say anything about it. Just consume the facts, absorb them.
There's a lot of information coming your way.
But don't let it taint.
You did it.
It's like between your naughty bits.
Yeah.
It's that
It-
strip of skin there.
It taint your asshole and it taint your balls. But this is not for you to decide, how somebody should feel about it. So, guys, just don't do it. Guys,
Well said.
don't do it.
Don't do it.
Just
What does Nike always say, Blake?
don't do it.
And what should we do, Matt?
We're probably going to do it.
No. We're not going to do it.
He said, we're probably going to do it.
I feel like I'm going to do it.
Last week, we had a guy almost do it. Right? Remember that?
Oh,
Remember when Derek said that? It dumbass.
Only because he was a slick son of a bitch and got out of it.
he is a slick son of a bitch. That
He's a
Derek.
salesman, man. He
Oh,
knows
yeah.
how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows how to make
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And words are his business.
Yeah.
Released January 12th. 12th. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me get it.
Dorf on golf.
Don't dwarf.
That was the guy from that Carol Burnett show on his knees.
Yeah, Tom Conway.
Is that from the Red Green show? Dorf?
No.
He wasn't a spin-off character from Red Green, was he?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Carol Burnett, right?
Yeah.
What'd you call him? Tim Conway?
Yeah. Not Don Knotts, Tim Conway. And then you hit the ball.
Is that what he did?
There was Dorf on golf, Dorf on good baseball, Dorf on soccer.
Is he the one who would say, I blew a tube?
I think it's basically a full-grown short man pretending to be a midget
Yeah, they
for
dug,
hilarity.
they dug a hole, and he would stand in it. And
I thought he was on his knees and they put shoes on his knees.
no, I think he was standing in a hole. I think
Anywhere he was, they dug a hole?
No.
You might be right.
I may be wrong, but I may be right, and I think I'm right.
Okay.
Billy Joel.
I always thought he was on his knees, but I can't-
No, they dug holes.
they put Tim Conway in a number of holes to do Dorf.
I know. Yeah, because if most of them are outside, like
You're
Sounds
right.
like a
Yeah.
lot of-
goddamn right, I'm
Sounds
right.
like a lot of work.
I remember seeing those commercials as a kid. Be like, buy now, Dorf on golf.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Stupid. Tim Conway. Remember when he did the Tim Conway pilot? It was called The Boys. It was.
Oh, he was a screenwriter or something.
Yeah. And then they
It
had like
wasn't
having
bad.
a wedding, and they kept getting a phone call.
Yeah,
Remember that?
his ex-wife kept calling.
Tim Conway.
Heard that. Well, I'm glad my ex-wife doesn't call.
Released January 12th, 1977 on WNBC.
Nice, good job. Way to call back.
Thank you. Stars Don Johnson. You may know him from only Miami Vice.
Well, Tango and Cat. Wait, no, Nash Bridges. That
Tango and Nash Bridges?
Yeah. I saw this about Don Johnson, and in this, Don Johnson looks maybe 28.
He looks pretty young here, I would say.
In his platform shoes.
But it's funny because like he's kind of a style icon, don't you think?
Sure.
Like he was like on the show, he was wearing like super 70s, like huge collars and shit. But on Miami Vice, it was like
rolled up,
like pastel suits,
no
socks.
Ugh.
I never saw a sock in Miami Vice.
To be honest with you, a man that doesn't wear socks has got some fucked up shit going on in his head.
He's got super like a bunch of foot fungus too. I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, also stars Robert Forrester. He was from Jackie Brown. Did you ever see Jackie Brown? That was a Quentin Tarantino movie.
No.
Matt, Jackie Brown?
No, not from a I've only seen a handful of Quentin Tarantino movies.
Oh, which ones?
Kill Bill?
One or two.
He only saw two. He had no context for the second.
I only saw two.
All right. All right, fair enough.
I think that's it.
Also stars Mark Hamill, the voice of the Joker and nothing else. Oh, no, I guess he was in Star Wars,
Well,
right?
it was funny because I do no research whatsoever. I just push
Sure.
play. And I saw the guy, and like for the first 20 minutes of the show, I'm like, that's got to be fucking Mark Hamill, right? I could have.
Oh, so you didn't know in advance?
I know.
You didn't know it was Luke?
I could have went to IMDb. And I'm like, that guy looks exactly like fucking Mark
Well,
Hamill.
I thought it was really funny that they cast him because I got to thinking about Star Wars and
So you recognized him right away?
Sure.
Okay,
In the city, I was like, they're only getting this guy because he plays a really good dude that wants to kill his dad. That's apparently
his dad punched him in the face at 6.
right when he gets punched in the face, and then
He
Star
only plays
Wars
characters who hates his dad.
wants to hate and murder his dad. I got just the guy for you. This guy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he also did the voice of the Joker
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah,
You,
and
so
he's-
you did know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. 'Cause
Did you know that, man?
The Joker?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I scrolled through his IMDb a little bit today, but
Many people will say the definitive Joker voice is the one from Batman, the animated series from
Which
the
was him.
mid-90s.
Which was him.
him.
Yeah.
And then he proceeded to play the Joker in a number of animated films and even video games to this date.
yeah.
He
That's
yeah.
all he's got. That's all he's got.
I think he's pretty great at it, honestly. He does a great job. Also, fans believe that this 74-minute movie, which premiered on January 12, 1977, was the original plot for Quinn Martin's Tales of the Unexpected, which premiered a few weeks later on February 2nd, 1977, and was an anthology series that lasted 8 episodes.
Wow.
They believe that. Not the case, though.
Oh,
Fact.
they believe it, but it's not the case.
But if they were to believe it and it were to be true, we couldn't be doing this pilot.
Right.
Interesting facts over.
Thank you.
Interesting facts over.
You did a great job.
I appreciate that very much. Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. Twitter responses. Twitter responses. Does Jason have some?
Low Blow Podcast.
What was I supposed to do today? Damn. Oh, you know what? I'll check my day planner. Let me get that. Oh, it's right here. Just look through. Record a new ad for the greatest podcast of all. I wonder what that could be. Well, it's the Low Blow Podcast, where myself, Adam Z, Dave Rowan, and sometimes Kristen Naomi Garcia scour the internet for all the news mainstream media doesn't want you to know, talk about Star Wars and Marvel films, because those are the only reviews we do, pick on Florida, because it wouldn't be this show without Florida. So search us on all your favorite podcasting app of choice and at lowblowpodcast.net. Appropriately inappropriate.
Are you yawning?
Yeah.
You guys just had Adam on, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
We forgot to play the promo then, so I'm playing it now. But I think, hopefully by the time this airs, Low Blow is back.
I was going to say, they've
I don't
done
know.
another one?
This is December 3rd.
I would hope so.
Christmas is upon us.
All up on us.
Lobo Podcast, great. I've known Adam Z for a long time. Love the guy. I saw a picture of Dave on Instagram not too long ago.
Is he doing okay?
I don't think so. I don't know if he's
What
sick or
happened? I haven't seen him.
He just looks really thin. I don't know. He looks, his face was very thin.
Does he have gay AIDS?
I don't know. I was like, that's a blonde Freddie Mercury with no bad teeth, if you ask me.
Freddie Mercury had gay AIDS.
Really?
I hope he doesn't have that.
I hope not either.
I like Dave. He's a good guy.
Yeah, because I always said I would have sex with him, and if he's got AIDS, I can't.
I don't remember you saying that.
No, I've said it. Come on, man.
Do you want to? Last week I wanted to sing a theme song from the 1980s. You don't want to do that, do you? You have no interest in that at all.
No, you be you.
Would you want to do that?
Sure.
If I played,
I will appease you.
If I played the Charles in Charge theme song, would you sing it?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't know what this has to do. It's the 70s.
I don't know. I just
You just want to hear yourself sing?
no.
No, you just like.
Do you know this?
No.
But you know the chorus.
Yeah.
Will you sing the chorus?
Sure.
You sing it. I'll do the high, and you do the low. Okay.
Yeah.
Matt, do you know this?
I don't. I'm gonna have to Google the words.
Charles in charge
Of our lives and our nights.
Charles in charge of our wrongs and our rights. I want to in charge of me. And our nights. There's a bunch of girls singing about how they want a man named Charles to be in charge of them.
And our rights. Charles in charge of me.
Composed by the great Albertan.
I like to think that a man of indiscriminate gender and ethnicity would be in charge of me.
Well, supposedly, I mean, if you listen to some of the ladies, I mean, he was making himself in charge of a lot of people.
I don't agree with
You
that.
don't believe
That's a
it?
lot of
You
responsibility.
don't believe it?
No. I think these are has-been actors and actresses coming and saying, "Hey, you know what? This guy did this thing, and I don't like it." And it's it's too little, too late, ladies. Come on.
Yep.
Scott Baio's a class act. I don't care if he's a Republican and outspoken about it.
Hashtag-
Bob blah blah.
Bob Loblaw from
hashtag-
Arrested Development. That's right.
Hashtag you too.
Thank you for appeasing that. That was very nice of you to do
You're
that.
welcome.
I've got a lot more where that came from.
I know you do. I know. And I think what it is you know that it drives me crazy when you play music from your phone and put it up to the microphone, and that's why you do it.
Let's talk about that. What I could do, if you really wanted, is send you the link to what I want to do during that show. But then you would have to convert that link and put it on your fucking iPad here, and you would hate that. So ultimately, this is the better way to do it because it's no work for you.
Lesser of two evils, Blake.
This is the lesser of two evils.
That's true.
Okay, I honestly, in the end, I'm doing you a service.
You are. You are.
Okay, so now we set the clock,
Oh, this is my favorite part. We set the clock.
the 10 minutes, so we can talk about the 75-minute
There's
pilot.
no way.
We didn't even finish
There
last
is
week's
no
22-minute pilot of
Donkey fucker.
yeah, the failed pilot donkey fucker.
Good grief.
That was called
I'm going
it's
to
called
start this
Hound
off. I'm going to start this off.
Start go.
I think that we should do this a different way. We just need to do what's the basic story. We talked about it earlier. Mark Hamill is a young man in his early 20s, and he is working at a gas station. And
This is pre-Star Wars.
this is pre-Star Wars, so nerds, this is before you guys started coming in your pants.
Jeez, good lord.
So basically,
Mercy.
this is what happens. Mark Hamill, he's working at a gas station. A guy comes up, and he beats the shit out of his car and then beats the shit out of him. We don't know why. He just loses his shit.
Yeah.
And then for the next 75 minutes, we're figuring out, with some sprinkled in cop stuff, this is in L.A., that he's after country music superstar Wes Collins.
Played by Jimmy Dean. Is this the same Jimmy Dean that we grew up watching on Saturday morning saying, hey, won't you please buy my sausages?
I did some research, and because I was like, this is what happened.
You did research for this show?
Yeah. I was like, I know a lot about country. I don't know anybody named Wes Collins, you know?
Yeah.
And then I was like, this name sounds, the voice and the face just looked familiar.
Okay.
Then, after I watched it, we were watching NFL football, and there was a Jimmy Dean sausage commercial on.
Was there really?
And his voice and the whole spiel came on.
All right.
And I was like, whoa. So I looked on IMDb for this, not last week. I did for this week. I looked on IMDb.
Thank you.
So Jimmy Dean is who this is. He was an actor, entrepreneur, country singer. He had Big John, and that was his song. But he was the guy.
What was the song? Big John?
Yeah, I think it was Big John. I
Big
took
John.
some
He's
notes.
iron tough.
But here's what happened. So he made this Jimmy Dean sausage empire, and then
He branded himself.
Yeah, and then sold it to Sara Lee, and then sold his they could use his voice, and he's dead. He's been dead a long time, and they Big Bad John was the name of the song. That was his big hit. But so Jimmy Dean sausage guy sold. He's like, I'm selling you the company, and you can use my name and likeness, and don't give me any more money after you give me this. And then he died, and they still use it to this day. His voice.
But did he make some good money on it, though?
Yeah.
I would hope that he did, right?
Yeah. So Jimmy Dean, he is the country singer who Mark Hamill is after, right? We don't know why. We just think he doesn't like his music, right?
Yeah, and it's still very puzzling why he attacks that, very affluent, very wealthy gentleman who's screaming at the beginning. Someone come over and they're trying to paint this picture almost that he's targeting him, right? There is confusion about why,
right?
But throughout the show, it's almost like he's now back after this Wes Collins guy, right?
Sure.
Partly because of what echelon of society he's in,
right.
because the haves and have-nots.
Right, because Mark Hamill, who we're going to call it's Banks, his last name's Banks.
Eugene.
He grew up in the South, and cotton farmer. I don't know. So that's what you think, and sprinkled over the top of this is a nice sprinkled frosting of Don Johnson and these two this other cop, right? They go into Mark Hamill.
It's Robert Forster.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Like I said, he was in Jackie Robinson. He had a big role. Quentin Tarantino does a great
baseball
job
player.
of picking up baseball players. Quentin Tarantino does a great job of finding old actors that he kind of grew up with and taking them and putting them in his films and kind of giving him a second life. That's what he did definitely with Robert Forster and Jackie Brown. But in this, he plays a cop, probably mid to late 30s, maybe 40, and he puts him with a guy who's super sick, and they kind of oh my god, this guy got beat up at the
Bert is sick as hell.
Bert, yeah, oh my god, some guy got beat up at the gas station, so they go over there, and then from there on out, they're trying to find Banks.
Bert's not. Bert is in the house. I mean, not in the house, but in the car.
There's a large period of time where they leave him in the car
for hours.
Yeah, they really
sick.
do.
Yeah,
they go
He's
in.
not well.
They go into Banks's apartment with no search warrant whatsoever.
No,
going through his shit like it's nobody's business.
And he's like a roommate or something, right?
No, he's
who's the guy that they talk to?
He's renting a room from that guy.
Okay.
Back in the 70s, you could do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So then we're just following Mark Hamill around L.A. as he's scoping out where Wes Collins lives. He goes on the bus trip in Hollywood and stuff, and
something about this
don't
man
know why.
pulling up into this gas station in this Porsche
set him off.
Something activated him, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, Mark Hamill's character Banks is on this mission, and we don't fully understand it.
He's running from the law as well. He knows he's being chased.
He beat this
Yeah.
man.
He killed him.
And eventually
he
died.
We find out that he died.
And so they're looking for him as a murderer.
Right.
And he's going around town and trying to accomplish his mission to get closer to Wes Collins. We don't understand why. But Banks, or not Banks, but Bert and Robert Forster's character, Lewis, I think was his name.
Yeah.
And they're traveling around trying to find him. They go to his apartment, and then Banks escapes 3 times from police, right?
Right. Yeah. And this is
he doesn't have any he's not super cunning, or super smart. He doesn't have any kind of technology. He's like
a jackrabbit.
He just keeps evading the police.
Right.
Well, one of the cops actually continues to stress that he's either hunted or been a hunter,
right?
Because he runs in this irregular pattern,
right?
And knows how to hide in the bushes,
right?
They're trying to play up this skilled almost.
That comes up later in the show for a little bit when he's out in the desert.
The end, yeah. So basically, this whole show, they're just following this guy around, trying to catch him. You don't know why he's after this washed up 70s country singer.
They spot Banks at one point. The detectives do. They chase him down.
Yeah, and then Bert ends up getting stabbed, ends up dying. So
he dies.
Here's 2 people dead because of a country singer, Wes Collins, and whatever beef Luke Skywalker has.
Bert, although he was sick, he was super dumb. He's like,
I think he had tuberculosis.
He's like, tuberculosis?
Tuberculosis. When you've had too many beers, you get tuberculosis.
Bertulosis. I think Bert, because his name is Bert.
Yeah.
He says,
Ernieolosis?
he's like, hey, I see you back there. Banks, why don't you come out? And he's like, all right. But he's super dumb about it.
He's sweet talking.
To me, I was like, Bert, I'm standing 10 feet back. My gun's at his forehead.
Right.
I say, lay down on the ground. He doesn't do any of that.
Come on, okay. Come on, buddy.
Sorry, we're boring you. Banks comes out and immediately stabs Bert until he is dead.
Yeah, he guts him like a fish.
Yeah.
They Don Johnson and the other guy, take a couple minutes and say, we'll leave Mark Hamill to him. We'll take Bert to the hospital. Then we'll leave again.
Yeah.
Here's what, because I know I'm running out of time. So here's what happens. He goes face to face with Wes. Mark Hamill does at the studio.
Hands him a note, right?
Yeah, hands him a note. Don't understand it in the bathroom. Again, he escapes. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But he attacks him. He
attacks him, cuts his wrist.
But is
he
Wes
went
gets
across
this,
instead of up and down. Right.
Wes gets this note, and he's like, he like, you can see it wash over his face.
Yep.
Oh my God. This is something that I know, but us as the audience, we don't see it. Banks escapes again, and now all of a sudden the police are involved, and Wes kind of quarantines himself at this distant ranch out in the desert.
Yeah, he's
right?
so rich, but his ranch is like a 2-bedroom house with.
He wants his wife and. He wants the police to forget about it. He wants his
just
wife to forget about it. He's telling everybody.
Just
he's
happened.
like trying to throw him off the
My
trail.
uncle's here with a rifle.
He's got a 105-year-old man outside with a rifle.
Right.
But
watching the road.
The detectives go there and like, hey man, what's going on with this guy? And Wes is like, oh.
He's just a kid who's having trouble finding his way in life.
But eventually get the truth out of him. And we alluded to it in the summary of the pilot,
ridiculous.
right?
So the cops
It
do a
is
background
ridiculous.
check on Wes Collins and find out that he punched a 6-month-old baby.
It's such a weird.
It's so
Like
off-putting.
who said that? Like
Yeah.
they had to have like 5 ideas on the table, and how'd they come up with that one?
Right. Well, that's what I'm thinking is like, how bad were the other ideas?
Let's
This was
go
like,
with
you
it.
know what?
Punching a baby.
I think punching a baby in the 70s is a great idea.
It's such a weird like plot point to hang your head on, but that's exactly what
it
happened.
anchored. They wanted it to anchor the show. Absolutely.
yeah.
I lost my question.
Couldn't he have raped his mom, or couldn't he have like sold his mom drugs or something instead of punching the fucking kid?
After like Wes reveals to the detectives, hey, this is what I did. You're right about this. I'm sorry. Wes takes it upon himself to kind of confront Banks while he's trying to hunt him down in the wilderness. And he does. He comes across him, and they kind of talk, and then Banks is abruptly apprehended by the police.
Well, Banks was also having none of it. He wanted to kill him. There.
No ifs, or buts. But here's when Wes Collins is explaining to the cops about the story behind this, like, it's like, oh Matt, what happened back in the day when you punched this baby? He's like, listen, first of all, I didn't think this woman was telling me the truth. This wasn't my kid, and you know what? I was stressed out. I didn't think it was my baby, and he was getting on my nerves. I wanted him to shut up, so I punched him. He just.
And then he did what they say. He did 2 years in prison.
Yeah.
And you know what? They also they used the word psychotic for Mark Hamill or Eugene at some point during it. That like they did a background check and they come up and he's got like this psychotic past. I think he was definitely more of like a sociopath because when he would turn on the charm to get what he wanted, to get into a car, to get out of something.
Right. Well,
he was.
He was probably a closed head injury because at a very young age, before his skull was still soft, he got punched in the.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think they wanted us to come to that conclusion?
And I got to stop you there because we're out of time. 10 minutes mandated by Couch Pilots Law. But that's pretty much the long and short of it, right? So
it's definitely the.
So now we got to ask: was there any turbulence in this show? I gotta say, I think there was.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
It seems to me like Blake's big beef with this program is it didn't have anything to do with the city itself.
First thing I thought of, and I probably wrote it down somewhere.
I think in this pilot episode, this pilot made-for-TV movie, you have Bert and Lewis. Bert is murdered, and then Scott, this guy who's kind of on the fringe and doing undercover work or whatever it is, he has to come together with Lewis. You get the creation of this new team, this new partnership of detectives in this big city. And did we ever really define what city we were in?
They said L.A., but they said it like once or twice.
It seemed like L.A. by all the desert activity and what have you. But also, at one point, the scanning of the city, I thought I was looking at the Twin Towers at the very beginning. So L.A., okay, we'll say it's L.A. I think there is opportunity here. I think you pigeonholed yourself by calling it the city when it should be called, I don't know, Scott and Lewis. It should be called L.A. Beat. It should be called, I don't know, Hollywood Detectives. Something to where you're focusing on specifically what we're doing rather than just the very broad stroke of saying it's called the city.
What's that show that's on more recently now, or maybe even La La Land or something like that? It's about L.A. It's
Okay.
about it, but that's just it. It's that. Do you guys remember like the strange narration at the beginning?
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
sandwiches the entire program.
I thought-
it's
Sandwiches
very
it.
bizarre.
I thought it was going to be like some sci-fi thing.
It's bizarre. It's disconnected.
Yes, the narration should be removed
Just
entirely.
absolutely removed.
Let me go back to my show notes here, and I'm going to read some of the narration.
Oh,
I took note of this. It's very bizarre. It says, let's see. It's wrapped up with some bizarre narration. Some will be damned forever because of the songs that were never sung. And it talks about art and literature.
and it's also talking about like the two things that
the two enemies of man.
ready.
Go
One,
do it.
2, 3.
Time
and
and distance.
Well, it has nothing to do with anything.
And they're talking about cars.
What about the?
but
What
they
does
don't
the
even-
internet have to say about distance?
It's immune. It's immune to distance. Cars are immune to distance.
Because cars have immune deficiency disorder.
Right,
Are you
immunodeficiency.
talking about vehicular AIDS?
So when two
That's
gay
what I have.
cars fuck
Good grief.
Good Lord, man.
a Fiat and a Saab.
Fix it again, Tad. Look, it shouldn't have been called The City. That's misleading. The narration is wildly off-putting.
Yeah.
It
Even though
really
it's-
takes you out of it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a sci-fi thing all of a sudden.
It would definitely you would think that about it for sure. What would you change about this pilot, Captain Philip? Rest assured.
All right, there's two things I would change. The name and also the major plot point of a baby, a 6-month-old baby being punched by a grown-ass man. It is off-putting. You know what? I could have handled the rest of this was a very boring show to watch. I fell asleep twice. I had to rewind it.
It's like the detectives got close to catching Banks. Oh, we got him. He gets away.
Yep.
Oh, we got close to
Which I
close to get him.
expected.
We get away. And
But-
we repeated that like
right.
3-4 times.
But to have a 6-month-old baby punched in the face is fucking just insane. Matt, you're right. There's a writer's room. There's people that make a lot of money that are sitting around. They're creative people.
They're getting paid for this.
Yeah, and they're creative people for
Yes.
the most part.
Yes.
And somehow somebody convinced a whole table full of people.
It's like somebody lost a bet, and this is what they had to go with.
Right. Like I would say that we're creative people, and we could write a script. Whether it's good or not is irrelevant. But nowhere would somebody go, you know what? I think the major plot point of this show is to have a fucking 6-month-old baby getting punched in the soft skull by a grown-ass sausage salesman.
It's not funny, but when you say it out loud, right?
Right. No,
in fiction, a baby being punched is ridiculous.
The
absurd.
yeah, exactly.
Let me ask you this. I always say, where would you like to see this go if it had continued? Well, in interesting facts, we kind of danced around the fact that it may or may not be a pilot for the Tales of the Unexpected that premiered just a few weeks later. If this had continued, do you want to see what happens with Lewis and Scott, or do you want to go in some sort of self-contained anthology series where we have different characters and a different setup and a different story every time?
I think with Bert being dead, those two cops are now they're
While you were taking a piss, we said the same thing.
they're partners that don't that's what
It's
you have
their
to do.
story,
Yeah,
right?
so-
We want to see what happens to
it's
them.
just like LA Law, just like all those. I mean, every week you have a different criminal they have to chase. That's
That's exactly what I thought. Like Law and Order,
Yeah.
L.A. Law,
Cha-chung.
something like that. But for me, what I felt like what was missed was that they wanted it to be clearly about these partners, these police right? This
Sure.
partnership. But it wasn't about them to me. I felt like Mark Hamill was easily they made it about him, like almost about the bad guy. They followed him, they followed his actions. It's almost like these guys were always on his heels, and it was more so revolving
He was a better
around
bad
him.
guy.
Yeah, he was a better bad guy than they were good guys. And this is a
So week after week, you'd want to follow the bad guy, you think?
I think that they would not necessarily. I think that they would want to put more emphasis on the good guys and remove some from
Okay.
the bad guy. But when you bring in probably not an A-lister at that time, but he was the best actor in that show, but by my estimation.
Yeah, I think Mark Hamill did a great job
he
as
did
that
a
character.
great job, and I'm not sure they could have anticipated that. I'm not sure, but they wanted it to be about the cops. To me, it wasn't. It was about him.
Okay, that's totally fair.
And I also don't think they should have shot a dog or stabbed a dog. That was
Thankfully, they did it like off camera, but it was still, that's
There was
punch a kid and shoot a dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Punch
to
a
SCN,
kid and a shot
where
of
the
dog.
time is
Ladies and gentlemen, Wes Collins.
Hey, and I don't know what to
For your
do.
safety and comfort, please
I
remain
got
seated with your
lots of
seatbelt
money
fastened
and
until the
a
captain is
ranch
turned
in
off the fasten seatbelt
Malibu. But every day I'm reminded that my beautiful wife don't know that I punched a baby. Sing, guys.
Punched a baby. IMDb. Internet Movie
I always do the falsetto.
Database score 1 out of 10.
You're never falsetto in my mind, buddy. You're always true setto.
Sorry, Jason.
True Seto. Decimal points in play. How do you guys think that the people from around the world reviewed the city? Matthew?
I gotta be out. I cheated. I looked it up.
You looked it up, so you know.
I did.
Blake? You're a cheat. What did you look it up?
No, I didn't look it up. 6.2.
6.8. That's out of 10
No, this
reviews.
is 6.3. Don't lie to me. It's a 6.3.
That's from 85 ratings. Let's see. Some reviewer reviews. Excellent job by Mark Hamill. This is from April 13th, 2002. Kalila, 1953, says, I tuned into this one night when I was channel surfing and took about 20 minutes to decide for sure what it was. Indeed, Mark Hamill. I was extremely impressed. This character was as far from Luke Skywalker as you can get and stay in the same galaxy. Never have seen the entire movie. Can't say as how I was really impressed with it, but we'll never forget Mark's performance here. After about 20 minutes, I was ready to climb through the screen so I could catch him myself. Way to go, Mark. 8 out of 10. Great performance, Mark Hamill from Teja, 55. This is from April 17th, 2006. Mark Hamill plays a young man whose father abandoned him as a child, and he is always focused on his hate for a country
He
singer.
didn't abandon him. He punched him.
Well, it's hard to say if he filmed the movie before or after Star Wars, but since they came out around the same time, this movie was supposedly a pilot for Quinn Martin's Tales of the Unexpected TV series. The theme music was different, but William Conrad's narration was used. This narration definitely added a certain quality to the series.
No,
I disagree. A couple other real quick viewer reviews. Matt Jones gives it 4 stars. Says, Robert Goddamn Forrester. Don Frickin' Johnson. Mark Flippin' Hamill. Jimmy Frickin' Dean. A sock-cuckin' Quinn Martin production. That's his review. Aurori LaGrange gives it 3 stars. Mediocre made-for-TV thriller with Robert Forrester and Don Johnson as cops on the trail of the murderous psychopath Mark Hamill. Best performance here is from country music star Jimmy Dean, as well as a country music star. Justin Oberholzer gives it 2 stars. Don Johnson and Mark Hamill are lively in this, but Robert Forrester just seems bored, as was I, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Whew. I almost spoke up.
This battery's almost dead on this thing.
Ladies and
We
gentlemen,
got to figure out
as
a
we start our descent,
extension
please
cord
make sure
thing.
Your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
Oh, boy. We just heard what the critics said, right? Before that, we talked about the show. We gave you the interesting facts, right? We put you back in the mindset of 1977.
We did all the work.
Everything has been done for you. All you've had to do is lay down and keep your eyes and ears open. That's it. Maybe not even your eyes. Just keep your ears open. Listen to what we've had to say. We've done all the work for you. Now, we rate it. Usually it's just Blake and I, but today we have a third. We have a guest. So we say this. Out of a scale 1 to 7,
Please clap for yourself.
1 being the worst, it's a Roy Biggins, all the way up to a number 7, click, 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 a Brian Hackett. We want to see what the score is based on the popular television series from the 1990s. It's called Wings. We look at all the characters. We give them a number rating. Matthew, I look to you. How do you rate the city?
I think.
I'm going to give it a Helen Chapman.
Apology accepted.
Give me a 6, a Helen Chapel.
Oh, a 6.
You know what?
Please elaborate,
Well,
yes.
sure. I was hard on it, and I understand I made several points.
whoa.
Blake and I double.
Don't be dirty. I don't like that kind of talk.
Darn it,
Next thing you
Blake.
know, he's going to say dildo.
Darn it, Blake.
He would say, he said. He would say that he would say Dilla.
You say dildo too?
I enjoyed the acting. I thought was strong. I thought the storyline came and went. I absolutely think the narration has to go. they got to put more emphasis on the cops rather than the bad guys, or else it's going to keep becoming about the bad guys. But honestly, I didn't fall asleep twice in this at all. I was kind of plugged in.
All right.
I feel like 6 is maybe
That's a
generous.
strong score.
I feel like
that's the strongest we've had in a while.
But it was I came in with really low expectations for an hour.
Because you were going to be on this podcast.
An hour.
You're like, I know
An
this.
hour and 14 minutes, and I thought,
Yeah.
nah, I honestly am a bit confused. I feel like there was some things they could have trimmed and improved, and this could have become a series.
I hear you. I hear you.
We hear you too.
Captain Philip, rest assured,
you hear it too.
I turn to you. How do you rate the city?
Oh, I'll tell you what. First of all, I clicked that classically blue link,
Kill you.
and I had it go from my phone to my TV. What do they call that? When you
Bluetooth mirroring.
And I saw 1 hour and 14 minutes, and first thing I said to myself was, "Fuck you, Jason."
Screw you, yeah, dude. Yeah.
I thought it was 28 when he sent me the link. I was like, this is going to be 30 minutes. I got this.
Right? No.
Next week is an 8-minute pilot.
Oh, okay.
Good
Well,
grief.
we're back to good graces. I know that you were going to lose sleep over that.
Honestly, the 70s and 80s, almost
I know.
everything I have left
No.
is like long
and
pilots.
we have done a really good. You've done a really good job. I mean, we haven't watched the long one in a long time, so it's fine. I will say that the narration was odd. It put me in a wrong stance of what I was going to be watching. Then it took me a half hour to figure out what I was watching. I did fall asleep twice, and I had to rewind it, which made the day even longer. But
You fell asleep twice during watching this.
And then when Jimmy Dean Sausage is found out to have punched a baby, I can't get over it. I can't get over that.
I know,
it
yeah.
makes no sense.
We had a
I
text
don't-
chain going earlier today. That's the first thing you said about this.
I cannot
Yeah.
get past
6
it.
feels strong when you say that.
I cannot get over it. You could have done anything else. This kid, could have Jimmy Dean could have molested this kid for Christ's
How
sake.
about abandoned it? Like abandoned the
Yes,
baby.
abandoned.
Yeah, abandoned the
Perfect.
baby. Yeah.
Yes, abandoned baby. Abandoned baby.
A bad baby.
I'm giving this a 1. I'm giving this
Wow.
a 1.
One.
Oh my goodness.
I'm giving it a 1 only because Mark Hamill played it pretty good.
He did
He did a great job. But I was bored by the cops. Don Johnson did nothing for me. The chase scenes were super long, which is very 70s. These chase scenes.
The French Connection.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I just can't get past the main plot point of the fucking show.
Interesting. Very interesting. I will say that we're all chiming in on the narration. It was weird.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Unless this is built as
It was dark. The beginning of it, when the narration was talking, there was a lot of darkness. Not one time during this all happened in one day. It was all daylight outside. There was
Yeah,
no
I think
nighttime.
you're right.
And so I didn't understand why was it night and day during the narration part. A lot of it during the night, but there was no nighttime. This all happened in one long fucking day. R.I.P. Bert.
the narration is so vague, but at the same time it's large and philosophical that if people who said this anthology series that came later, Tales of the Unexpected, this was a pilot to that, I could understand that because the narration gave way to some sort of larger idea.
Waxing poetic.
Right. But I don't want that larger idea.
I thought by watching the narration or hearing the narration, I thought Mark Hamill and the way he acted in the first scene that he was going to be possessed or something.
You thought there might be a supernatural element
yes,
to this.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I can
yes,
see that.
yes,
I totally
yes,
understand that.
Yes,
I don't like the narration. I thought Robert Forrester was really cool in this. He was a cool dude. To mirror you guys, I think Mark Hamill did a great job.
He did.
I don't know him anything other than Luke Skywalker and the Joker, but he did a good job
Yeah,
at
he's
this.
really
He was
good.
really good in it.
Did we try to get a hold of him on Twitter?
Sure. Yeah, sure. He's got come on, he's got 3.5 million followers.
But he's also very self-absorbed. I thought
Our
that's
shit
pretty
gets
good.
lost in the mix for sure. But I definitely tried. The story was it was way too long. This was 75 minutes. This is a drama. This is a 45-minute pilot.
Yeah,
at
at most.
Yes. I don't want to see any more than that. I don't need a 30 extra minutes because what we did is we saw, we got close to catching him. No, we didn't get him. Oh, we got close to catching him. Oh, we didn't get him. We kept rehashing the same shit. We don't need to see that. This is a 45-minute pilot. I think there are very capable actors here. I think even though it's poorly named the city, it gives you a raw sense of what it should be when it's inaccurate. These are cool people. I think Don Johnson's cool. I didn't think he did much in this. He didn't do it for me, but he's a cool guy. Him and Robert Forster would have been a cool team. In L.A., in the 70s, that's a show. They did it wrong here. It flopped. I give it a 4.
Okay.
It could have been a lot better. It could have been a hell of a lot worse. But those guys were cool. They need to trim it down a little bit. And this could be week after week. We saw the story of how these guys came together as partners. But unfortunately, it didn't work. And with that, we close the book on the city. No, we're not
closing it yet.
And with that, we open it back up slightly for Blake's comment.
Okay, so I know that you read the summary to this before you watched it. So you know the baby punching happened, right?
I did know that.
Okay, so you knew about it. So there was no jarring whatsoever of yours. If you didn't know about this baby punching thing, would your score have went below a 4? If you did not know about the baby punching?
You know, I think... At what Thomas Edison or someone said, 100 years ago, oh my God, everything that could be invented has been invented. And they were unbelievably wrong, right? Not everything that has been invented.
Couldn't have been more wrong.
Right. And same with this. I think they said, well, what's a plot point that's never been touched on? Oh, I know. Punch a baby. No, that's not. There's a million things they could have done differently. I agree with you, Blake, that they didn't have to try to reinvent the wheel.
I was just curious
here.
if it would have affected your score if you would not have our prior.
Well, I'm sorry for the preamble then, but I wanted to put it in perspective of how it is a
You're a rational thinking person. I'm not. It's fine.
It's a ridiculous plot point, and it is very bizarre.
It's ridiculous.
But honestly, it's something that it could be real. But why start your program with that? Why make that the centerpiece of your first show?
Could it be the gentleman you guys interviewed for the last podcast I was on?
Oh, Brad Mockery from PowerPoint.
He said
Power Pack.
He said something that stuck with me, and I know we're running long here, but his quick point was, when you put these pilots in front of the producers, you want to show them what it's going to be like midstream, like what this series could look like, rather than showing them all the setup and the preamble and everything at the beginning.
Yeah, because we were talking to him about why not show the origin story of these guys. We'll come back to that. Right. What we want to show is what this could be.
That's it.
Right. So we can we feel like we're midstream and we could really get right to it.
Yep. Give them a sense of what it is when it matures, and maybe there's some of that here. I don't know, but it's
perhaps. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah. It's funny because Brad Mockery and I continue to have some sort of relationship. He still likes our tweets.
Darn straight.
He will message me from time to time.
How you doing, Brad?
Good dude. Brad Mockery, good guy.
I'm so glad you guys are dating now.
Yeah,
it's the closest thing you've had to a relationship in months.
He's not wrong. And with that, and with Blake not being wrong for once in his life, we close the book on this city, and we will never mention Blake being right again or this city.
Ever.
But stay with us next time, won't you please, when we talk about the pilot episode of The Dog Police. A lot of dogs we talk about. Here's a little something to... they're dogs. They're from space. They're psychic. They're cops. They're divorced? You can find the entire episode of The Dog Police by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice.
Breathe. And
then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. Matt?
And you'll know what to... you'll know what to...
You got it! You got it, buddy!
YouTube!
Woohoo! CouchPilotsPodcast.com. There is an infinite number of tubes and trucks and... what's that saying again? Where
it's immune to distance. These trucks are immune to distance.
I've never heard that. I love that so much.
That was good.
Immune to distance.
Ted Stevens was ahead of his time. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. The death of him is funny. CouchPilotspodcast.com. If you like this, and I can't imagine you do, but if you do...
Why do you say that? You need to be positive. You need to convince the listeners that they're having a good time.
Speaking of positive, did Blake do his positivity?
Not yet.
He doesn't
We're not there yet.
We're
not there yet, Matt. Don't worry about it.
I was going to say, I'm pining for it.
I know you are. I know. Because you know me. I'm all about the positivity.
You really are.
I want a shirt that says, you know me, all about positivity.
CouchPilotPodcast.com. Go there. All of our shows are there. All the different ways to contact us. And if you contact us, You're getting frequent flyer points, guys. You're getting frequent flyer points.
It's the easiest program there is. If you look at airlines, if you look at credit cards, this is the easiest program to accumulate
Blake,
points.
every day, you listen to Keith and the Girl or some other podcast,
I listen
right?
to Keith and Girl every day.
Right. And do they give you anything for listening to them?
No, they don't.
But conversely, if you were to listen to us every day, you would get frequent flyer points.
Yeah, and if I was to even like try to interact with them on their show,
Right.
it's very difficult because
You may not even hear back from them, right?
there's been times where I haven't heard back.
But if you contact us, we're going to get back.
oh
to
yeah,
you.
we're getting back to you
And we're
ASAP.
giving you're getting points, all right? You're racking
Yeah,
up
no, yeah.
for goods and services rendered,
You can get
right?
autographed poster. You can get autographed
Aviators.
aviator glasses. You can get used underwear. You can get we sent out a pregnancy test.
Absolutely,
I
we
mean,
did.
there is a plethora of stuff. And Matt, you have used your frequent flyer points to just be in this plane with us.
Just recently used it for a pregnancy test.
Positive or negative?
We broke the news to you that your wife was
right.
pregnant.
That's right. You guys told me. That's right.
And also, Matthew, you won the Host Couch Pilots pod. Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
what is your thoughts on that? What is your plan?
Couldn't be more excited.
You're
I am
going to host this show.
This is going to be a drop-laden episode. That's all I'm going to tell you. I mean, like, you know what I mean, right? Like,
you're
guys
accumulating audio clips that you'll be playing during the show.
and Blake, you and I are going to have to do a lot of work in advance because I'm going to be hitting them hard and heavy. Now, now Kevin
I'll be
and I
taking a nap.
Now Kevin and
Kevin
I,
Clark is
Kevin
the other
Clark,
winner.
I couldn't be more psyched to be working alongside Kevin. He's a vet. He's a pro. He's a longtime listener. But Kevin and I, we're going to tear this thing up, and you guys are going to get it. I don't know. The unique experience of sitting in coach
I'm excited
while we
about
steer
it.
this.
I don't think
I'll
a lot of
This is
I
going
don't
to be
even,
fun.
Do we even need to get on the plane?
I don't think so. A lot of shows don't do anything like this.
No,
See,
this
I
is-
made
this
the, I
is
made the
huge.
assumption. I thought you guys were going to be on
no,
it with
we're-
us.
we're-
Okay,
I
okay.
don't want to be here.
You don't want to be here.
But we're
This
going
is
to be
gonna
here.
be-
We're going to be
I
here.
You're
think
gonna
that-
be here?
I think the show will be better, at least if I'm not here. Maybe not if I don't
Kevin,
know
if you're
it's-
listening, tweet at us.
He's not listening.
Kevin.
Call 910 Pilots 1. It's 910-745-6871. You have a voice. If you want to hear what it sounds like on our dumb show,
Unless you're
then you can
mute.
call us, right? Unless you're
You
a
ever
mute.
met a mute?
I met a Musel over the
Metamucil.
weekend.
Now he's regular.
I'm not joking. Do we have time for a quick story?
Oh, I do. I know.
Okay.
I ain't got nothing going on.
So the other day, I got these coupons, these two different coupons for Kohl's that I can use in tandem. So, oh my God, I got to get the Kohl's. So I get the Kohl's, and I drive down the men's side of the store, and there's two parking spots right up front. I'm like, oh, my luck, thank God. I'm going to get in, and I'm going to get right out.
Right.
So I pull up to the closest spot to the front door, and then a woman is standing there facing me as I'm pulling in, and she flags me down. And I'm like, what do you want? And so I roll down my window, and I stick my head out, and it becomes instantly apparent that this woman is deaf. And she's pointing to her car, and she's trying to signal to me, someone who doesn't know American Sign Language, what's going on. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It looks like she needs help. Maybe she's saving the parking space that I'm in for someone that's going to help her. I don't know. And then right next to me, another car pulls in. So I say, hey, roll down the window, sir. And he does. And I say, excuse me, yes, are you helping this woman? And the guy says, no. And he rolls down the window and he gets. So all of a sudden, it's up to me to help this deaf woman.
She just needs her battery charged.
And we stood around for 10 minutes trying to do it, and it didn't work. Something else is wrong with her car.
Oh.
So when you mention the people who try to contact us, whether or not I have a relationship with a deaf, I don't know how good it is. But that's something that happened to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I offered her a ride. She wasn't interested.
She didn't take you up. She didn't take you up on it.
Her and her son.
How did you convey that offering her a ride?
Her son was in the back, and he was.
And he could
was a
translate.
normie.
He could translate.
Yeah, I said, hey man, hey, tell your mom I could take you to Walmart if you want to pick up a battery. And they said, no, we'll just wait for our friend. All right, I said, screw you. I'll just go get some pants. I'll go get a nice pair of slacks inside Kohl's.
Hey kid,
Go
tell
in there
your
and-
mom either she fucks me or I punch you.
Good Lord.
Good God.
Good God, man.
He was just...
Holy.
Tell your mom I'm going in there to get some Jimmy
Long
Beans.
story short, I had sex with a deaf lady. Check us out on Patreon if you like what you hear. And then again, I can't imagine
We can edit
that
that,
you
right?
do.
You should...
He's got to turn up the volume when he edits it.
And what?
What?
Go to patreon.com. In the search engine, type in Couch Pilots. You can give us money.
Tai Chi pilots.
Go, take over, please. Tell us about Patreon.
nobody. For the 3 people that do donate to Patreon, thank you very much.
That's more than most. We should be proud of that.
Yeah.
And thank you seriously to the people who do.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. We are accumulating money. We want to do We want to do the right thing with it. But thank you guys that do.
Some of that money recently went to a new mixer. We're not utilizing some of these special effects like we should be.
I know you have a boner for the special effects.
I really want to muck it up.
I know you do. You know what? Here, let's do this.
Okay.
Since you're into being creative and doing different stuff, how about someday you come over here and do this?
I do want to learn.
Okay.
Seriously, someday we should switch roles for a day.
All right.
I'll still do all the shit, and you can.
I'll be the pitcher.
You're gonna have to do that board when Kevin and I fly this thing.
Oh, no, that's fine. I was assuming I was going to be in the cockpit. I mean, I was going to be with you guys.
This is gonna be great.
I mean, because I have a degree from Phoenix
Can we give
Online.
the fans of the show when are we thinking about this thing? This is December, is the last I heard?
Sometime in December, I think we're going to record that episode because we're still going through season 16 where Blake and I are having a guest every episode. We've got about 4 more episodes of this season.
Yep.
And then we're gonna hopefully
It's probably gonna happen toward the beginning of 2019.
Okay, so it could be a December recording.
December or
Yes.
January, just because Kevin is about to have a new baby, and we want to be respectful to his
Don't
availability.
punch it, Kevin.
So we're going to work with you and Kevin on a date, but we've got guests at the end of the season and on coming on. So we're still fine tuning some.
Let's
of
do
that.
this.
Anyway,
It's a great idea.
do you have a message of positivity? We wanted to shoot that to you. There was something you wanted to mention.
I know that Matt fast forwards through every episode
Sure.
to the end to hear my message of positivity because
He's a positive guy.
Matt is a positive guy. I'm a little teary-eyed. Matt's a good guy.
You can do this.
Teary-eyed.
Nah.
Teary-eyed.
You guys want me to do this serious?
You're
or you guys
doing
want me
it.
to mess
No.
around?
You're doing
I
it,
want you to
Peter.
mess around.
All right.
Doing it, Peter.
You're doing it, Peter.
Is that from fucking Spider-Man?
Yep. Spider-Man 2.
Electric
Rise of
Boogaloo.
Hook.
Eclectic Boogaloo. The Rise of Hook. That's right.
All right, here it is. All right, message of positivity. You can have friends that are like-minded. You can have friends with the same interests. And you can have friends that aren't as like-minded and that you disappoint often, but they're still your friends. Matt, I enjoy having you on every time. Jason, I enjoy you at times.
This kind of hurts my
And
feelings.
if Matt didn't have a lovely wife at home and 2 kids, I'd ask him to host this podcast,
Oh,
but he
I
doesn't
see.
have the time.
I see what's going on.
If we clean it up, we would get thousands of listeners. You know what? Be open-minded of people and their differences. What the fuck? What? I'm trying. You know what? Fuck it. I was trying to be nice.
Just, this message is going.
The message has gone astray.
There's something for everyone in it.
This pilot may have been rough, but it doesn't matter what I say.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future.